Hi there, how are you doing? Um, just want to show you a few things that I've been playing with and collecting and sorting out, over the last sort of like couple of years as we've been going through all of this nonsense that we're getting thrown at us nowadays. And one of the things I just noticed there before, I wanted to go get a drink of water, and we have these water filters. Okay, that's one. I think this one is called zero water. All right, and then that's the filter. It's full of charcoal and probably other things, but filters that, and gets rid of the metals and the chemicals that they poison us with in the water. So then, I went to get a drink and I'd forgotten, I haven't changed it for a while. So just pour a bit in here. And then I think I might have got this with the filter. I can't remember now, to be honest. I've got another filter as well. I've got a few of these left. Can't remember how many, 5 or 6 maybe. They last about a month, and before you have to change them. And you know when to change them because the water tastes rank. It tastes worse, actually. You know, when you get it out of the tap, you can smell it. The smell is disgusting of chemicals and metals. You can smell it. It's horrible. So, I try my best not to taste it. Now, once it's gone through the filter, it tastes fine. It tastes really nice, you can tell. But it's gone through all of the charcoal and everything. And then, right, once it's finished, and obviously all the toxins all collect in the charcoal. The same as when you take charcoal, if you've took toxins, poisoned yourself, that type of thing. And it tastes terrible, So what this is, if you can see, look, it's got that little indicator thing there. All right, let's have a look. Need my glasses. So now you can see, like, I put it on. All right, and it gives you a reading. Now, if the water goes above 6, you shouldn't be drinking it. So you put it in. All right, I've just hang on, that's not good. I'll put it in there. Look, see, so you can see it's in the cup of water that I've just poured out to myself, and it's 144. Let's see if it goes off. Let's see if I can show you it that way then. Can you see that? There. 146, 149. All right. So it's pretty high, isn't it? When you're not supposed to drink it if it's higher than 6. So, I'm going to change the filter now before I can get a drink. So I just, I wanted to get like a drink of water. And I switch that off. Okay, we must have had that for about, like, I don't know, 3 years, maybe longer, actually. Yeah, about 5 years. Yeah. So we've probably had this 5 years. I don't know if there's a battery inside or not, but I've never changed anything. Probably is a battery somewhere, but you don't leave it on often anyway, do you? So I just thought I'd show you that. So obviously the filtered water is important, especially when you're getting it out of the tap. It smells horrendous. Now, this is something I've had I've kept for a couple of years. All right, this is like gravity be free water filtration system. This is for like outside, but I've never actually opened it. I've had it for a couple of years. Let's see if I can open it. Yeah. So what I've got this for is because, like, well, we don't know what's going to be happening, do we? The absolute insanity of everything that's going on. And what if they turned the water off, or what if they actually had something happen? And we did have, like, a flood or something, and all the water got ruined. So you've got this. I think you can get it out of a stream or a river, and I haven't read the instructions. I just thought I'd show you. It's called a Katadin. Had it a while. So look, it's never even opened it. All right, so I'm going to have to read the instructions. You've got a little instruction book. So it looks to me that, like, hang on. So you've got your little instruction books, probably in different languages because there's a few different books there. And it looks to me like you're going to hang it up from somewhere, probably get it out of the river or rainwater even or anything like that. And then it's got a little filter in it. You can see the little blue filter. There, you can just see it there. Okay, this must just be a carry bag. Yeah, so, you know, I just think it's handy to have something like that, just in case, you know. I mean, what does that hold? Well, it says 3 liters, 3 liters of water. And it says to clean it, you just need to shake it. You must have to take, you can unscrew that. All right, you can unscrew that. And then, yeah, look there, it unscrews. There you go. There's the filter. And then you can wash it. And then you put it back in. Just handy, isn't it? You know, something like that. First time I've opened it, it's been in there forever. So I'll keep it all there, the instructions wrapped up in a bit of paper. So I don't think there's going to be that much instructions for let's have a look. Looks like it's all English. No, it's not. Only the front one. Yeah, so it's all different languages. So there, you know, just a little handy thing. I can't remember how much it cost. It was a while ago I got it. But, you know, the thing is, water is obviously like a vitally important thing if you want to live. Now, like the, on that, I wrote this down before, on the Crown and Parliament Recognition Act, 1689. You know, which was like the Settlement Act 1700. And it was basically to say that, you know, what rights we had and what rights we didn't have. But, right, it's 9.1. Each person, it is a person, unfortunately, has the right to seek shelter from the environment without cost from creation. Without cost from creation. So a lot of people think that you shouldn't be paying for water. All right. And that, you know, the thing is, like, if like a lot of these other like groups on there, very vociferous, shall we say, and saying, oh, like, you know, like nobody should be paying for anything, you shouldn't be paying for council tax. We're not paying for council tax because it says each person has the right to seek shelter from the environment without cost from creation. So that act there actually states that. So that would actually be correct in saying that you shouldn't have to pay just for shelter. But then, if that is the case, then surely, all right, especially when we have to actually go and filter it ourselves. So we have to pay for these filters. Can't remember how much they are. The jug, well, it's only a plastic jug. I can't say that would be much money. All right, but then you got to get the refills. Okay, so we have to pay for all of that on top of paying for the water that comes to the home. So if it says on there, right, that each person has the right to seek shelter from the environment without cost from creation, surely that means then the shelter from the environment means that we have to live, so that we should be having water then. But also, right, without cost from creation, shelter must mean warmth as well. So to keep yourself warm, to be alive. So that's the strange thing. For many years, I've always said, you know, that this is a prison planet. We're not meant to even be here. We've been put here as a punishment. I still believe that now. So, you know, if you look at all of the animal species, the mammal species around this planet, okay, you can see that they all adapt to their own environment and they're all fine. Man can't do it anywhere. Can't live anywhere without getting fried to a crisp or frozen to death, you know. So there's something strange about everything, isn't it? But anyway, you got to get shelter and keep warm, because you can't be out in the cold and you can't be out in the damp. So if then we should have without cost of creation, then surely that means that you shouldn't have to pay for any power as well then. If you can use that act to not pay for your council tax and use that to say, well, I don't have to pay for my council tax because it states in there that I can have shelter without the cost from creation, then you shouldn't have to pay for gas and electric either, should you? Surely that would actually make sense. If you're going to argue one, then you should be able to argue with the other. Something to think about. All right. Like I say, like all the times, you know, I'm not here to make you do anything except think about things. I'm not telling anybody what you should be doing or what you shouldn't be doing. All right. So on these water filters, see, they've got the top on. You take the top off, and you can see there's the filter part in there, you know, and it's full of charcoal. I'm going to change this one now. I'm not drinking that. They're just nearly as bad as the water we used to have when we lived in Spain. You know, we lived out in the middle of the country, and the water came from a well. And it was disgusting. you wouldn't have been drinking that, or if you did drink it, you wouldn't be. I wouldn't be here now, I tell you. So also, like a few of the things that we've got, right? And I've just I had this a few months. Okay, this look, if you can see the picture. Look, it's a lamp. It's one of them old-fashioned lamps that you used to see on the films. You know, back in the day. So it's let's have a look. Now then, this is just for light, by the way. This is not for heat. I'm going to show you something that I tried to get for heat before. An absolute failure that I was at that one, where it's down there. But look, see, this is. I think this was only about 20 odd quid. Okay, right. So it's an oil lamp. Now I've seen someone doing this with cooking oil. So you've got your little thing there, look. And you can undo that, so you put your oil in. Paraffin oil is what they say it should be. All right, I've got some outside in the shed because it stinks. All right, so you fill that up into there, right? But I've seen people doing this with cooking oil, just normal cooking oil that you would get like in a little bottle for your kitchen. And I've also, and I witnessed it myself, seen people putting it into the car, right? Straight there, big a jug of just cooking oil for the kitchen, poured it into there because it was a diesel engine, and was driving around in it totally fine, absolutely no problem. So, you know, you want to try that with cooking oil because it'll probably be less expensive. So what you do is there's a little handle somewhere. There it is. So you lift that up. Look, watch it. See it lift up? So then you can go in there and you light that wick. And then you've got this little handle here. You turn this little handle and the wick goes up and the wick goes down. Can you see it? Look, if I turn it a certain way. See the wick come up and then you put the wick down. Okay. So obviously what the wick does is, ow, my arm's killing. Ow, it soaks up all the fuel, be it cooking oil or whatever it is. All right. But it's not for heat, and it's got the little hand. Obviously this will get hot, so you wouldn't touch it. Okay, but it's not for a heat thing. So, but that's good to be able to carry around. You look like one of them people from the old films or down the mines or something like that, wouldn't it? Okay, quite romantic. But you know, if you get a blackout, the threatening blackouts like that, I mean, you know, it's there, it's handy, isn't it? Plus, I just like the look of it. I wanted to look like an old-fashioned film. I have to admit, yes. So, but it's purely just for light. So I had seen these things getting people talking about like the terracotta pots and everything like that, and how they used to heat like rooms up and everything. I thought, that's interesting. I wouldn't mind trying some of that. And but then when I was researching them, I seen this metal one, and I thought, and they showed you the picture, and the picture looked massive. I thought, well, that'll go in our fireplace because we've got a fireplace, but with no fire. All right, but we have a chimney, so I've got someone hopefully going to be helping to put a fireplace in there. It's a proper functioning chimney flue and everything. But so I thought, I'll go and get one of them things, and they look massive, but it's a picture. It's just a little photograph. So anyway, and what you do is you put the candles in, and then the heat rises, and then I was going to get a fan to blow like the heat. So, and it looked like it would go in the fireplace, probably like you say, like massive big thing like that, and then it come through the post. And look at it, look at the size of that. Look, I mean, how is that going to heat anything except, you know, I don't know, your shed maybe. So you put the candles in here. You could only get maybe it's 2 candles in, and they were showing it. I don't know. They must have crammed 3 in the tiniest little candles that could find. And it, you know, this might get hot, but it's not going to heat up a room, you know. Whoa. So a bit of a failure on that one, I'm afraid. You know, so we look for other things. But all it is just like ways to be prepared. All right. So you're looking at your food sources and everything. So funnily enough, you know, I had someone had done a video the other day, and it was from a guy selling eggs from his farm, and he usually sells them to the supermarkets, and now they're ripping them off. They've increased all the prices to us, obviously the consumer. I don't eat eggs, and never have for years and years and years, but people do. And you know, and I just said, well, we should be supporting the farmers. Go to the farms and buy them directly, you know, instead of going to the shops. I mean, you got to think they're controlling the whole food supply now by having supermarkets. When I was a kid, you used to go shopping, get dragged along by your mom, right? And there would be all the shops you had to go into. There would be the bread shop, the baker shop, right? Then you would go into the butcher shop. Well, we never did because we actually lived in one. But the you know, and you would have all the different shops that you would have to go to get all the different things that you wanted. Now it's all in one place. Everything from televisions to food to, you know, alcohol, everything. So they're controlling everything, and they can switch it off at any time they like as well. All right, you're going to see people. Last couple of years ago, they were battling in the aisles over some toilet roll. What they're going to be fighting over when there's a little bit of a food shortage, eh? So that lamp, obviously, what you do is you're going to have to light it, aren't you? Now I know that you've got these long gas lighters now that you use, but gas lighters going to run out of gas. Okay, so these, or if it was wet and windy and everything, you've got these. Got some of these. They are waterproof, all right, waterproof safety matches. I've never tested them yet, so I don't know how waterproof they are or what that would actually mean, to be 100% honest. So I will have a look. It used to, it just looks like an ordinary match. So I wonder why they're waterproof. I think I might go in the shower later and try and light one. Just looks like an ordinary match, doesn't it? That's not very good one, is it? Half the stuff's off that one. Okay, but anyway, so you know, it was just a couple of quid, and it's like 4 boxes of matches. If it was damp and wet, then these are supposed to light even when they're damp. I don't think if it would be like in the shower, I don't think I will bother trying it. But right, just like little things like that to try and like help you get through some difficult spots, just in case it was ever going to happen like that. All right, you've all got to be looking after yourself, haven't you? So make sure that you can get your water and it filtered. We've got a distiller. Is that the right word? We distill the water as well. And but unfortunately, I smashed the jug, so I have to go and get a new jug. I don't know what I did. Okay, anyway, so you know, I just thought I'd show you a little bit. Now, remember, this stuff that we're talking about here, you know, I was talking about it yesterday. I did on my live. I did a bit of a rant about it, you know, people being silly, but it started off with, you know, we were out every morning. We'll go out with the dogs. We'll go out very early, and we'll see the sun rising over the sea and going over into the woods, and you can see it, you know, above the trees. Beautiful, right? But then you see all of these, like, you know, whoosh going across the sky, beautiful blue sky, and then there's another one whoosh going across the other one, making, like, you know, crisscrosses in the sky. You know, and you think, oh God, what are you doing? And then by the time you actually get, you know, home and you fed the dogs, right, the sun's gone, then it's all cloudy, and you know, that's not natural. These are not natural clouds. You know, they've lost all of the sunshine. So everything that happens here is manipulated, and, like, you know, whatever they would be doing, these shortages, like they say they're going to, you know, possibly do blackouts over the winter. They'll do it when it gets coldest. They're not going to do it in the summer when it's, you know, you're all right, you don't need your heating on or anything. So they're going to do it like that. And that's why I think, you know, I'm just showing a few different things. There's no such thing as climate change nonsense, what they're actually pushing. You know, like I've listened to a few scientists who've been studying it. And one of them is, I can't remember, I can never remember his name, but it's Jeremy Corbyn's brother, who was the leader of the Labour Party. And he's a meteorologist. Is that the right word? Meteorologist. I don't know. But he knows all about the weather, and he's been studying it for decades. You know, he's like a scientist. And he says it just doesn't exist. You know, it's always fluctuating like that. And I was listening to another scientist there, and he's saying, like, you know, what they've done on these graphs that they're actually showing you nowadays. There was they've got records going back to medieval times. Now, well, they took out the medieval, what we called a medieval heat wave, and it didn't last 2 days like we had the heat wave, and they were scared that everyone was going to drop down dead of heart attacks. Died suddenly, unknown cause. But and it showed there was this massive heat wave. Now, I've been reading history books about like the English-Scottish wars that they used to have when you had, and it wasn't the English as such. It was literally the Vatican had sent the power base to London to run London. They did it, you know, all the way back. You know, it's been the same thing all the time, and you know, so they were trying to take over the rest of the actual country. So they were suffering terribly when they were going up into around where we live now. There's massive castles everywhere around here, and there's loads of battlefields where there was, like, you know, dozens of battles. One of the last ones was called Flodden, which is not far from here, the Battle of Flodden. And they were, but anyway, that wasn't that battle. But some of them wars that I was reading about, the soldiers that were getting marched, remember, they were marching from like England all the way up here, you know, were suffering terribly with the heat, which you wouldn't think that, would you, really, in England, but definitely not in Scotland. So, you know, but they took all of that out of the graphs, okay? And they also had like a mini ice age, can't say the word. And they took that out of the graph as well. So now they were showing it like that, as if it was kind of even. It's going like this, right? Took out the big lumps that were shot up with heat and then went down with the cold. And now it's going like that. Okay, completely manipulated graphs, complete and utter lies. And there's also talking, it was on a similar program, and it was talking about sea levels. And the scientist there, he's been studying it for like decades as well, and looking at the charts for all of the sea levels. And there's no difference. All right, it's all just a lie. Exactly the same thing as just manipulating people, getting it out on the mainstream media, pumping it up there so everybody, I mean, people believe it around here, you know. It was pouring down with rain and the other day, and this guy's like still convinced it's never rained for 3 years. They say, well, we're in a drought. We've had a drought. It's never rained properly for 3 years, you know. Mental. But there you go. So, like, you know, all of these things that we're prepping, I suppose. All right. It's just a little bit of like common sense. I don't want to actually be, you know, sitting in the dark. I remember in the 70s when they did it, when they were trying to blame all of the miners for it, you know. But, you know, if you don't want to be sitting in the dark, you're going to lose all power. That's why we've got the solar panel, and we'll run around the garden trying to catch it before they do all of the Satan's spray in the sky to make it all cloudy again. All right. But anyway, so I just thought I'd show you a few little bits and bobs, and hope you enjoyed it. Take care, and we'll see you again soon.